The Federal Reserve continues its ongoing fight against inflation. The Fed, as expected, raised rates by 0.75% for the third straight meeting. But what does that mean for your wallet? Well, joining us to try to make sense of the Fed's latest move is Dr. Kevin Willard, Associate Professor of Economics at Wright State University. Thank you so much for taking the time and for joining us here tonight. The Federal Reserve announced that it's raising that short-term rate from 3 to 3.25%. How will this counteract rising inflation?
In the immediate term, it likely won't do much. The Federal Reserve is primarily geared at, they're focusing on core inflation. So your overall inflation, what you experience day to day, includes volatile things like energy and gas. So from from July to August, we saw a slight fall in overall inflation, but core inflation continued to rise. So this rate increase is primarily geared toward that, preventing future inflation. So I doubt you would see any real change in prices in the immediate term.
For people who have money in retirement accounts or in investments, how will their finances be impacted by the rate hike?
The biggest issue with respect to that is really going to depend on how you're positioned in the market. But one of the things that would be concerning is that rate hikes like this, because Wall Street has become so reliant on easy money, when the Federal Reserve starts to restrict the money supply, it's an indicator that we may actually enter a recession, in which stocks usually take a beating.
Well, by increasing borrowing rates, it is more costly to take out a mortgage, an auto or business loan. So how will this impact people who might be, let's say, trying to buy or sell a house right now?
That's going to depend on what kind of house you're trying to buy and or sell. So the increase in the interest rates really has a larger effect on kind of your luxury homes or your larger dollar item homes. So anything over about $600,000 over 30 years, 1% interest rate increase is incredibly costly. And what that might do is it takes all of those people, I mean, they still need to live somewhere. So they end up jumping down into a different type of house. So they focus on something from the $400,000 to maybe $500,000 range. So within those ranges, you actually may see a slight uptick in terms of price as new people who otherwise would have bought different homes start bidding up the price of those homes. And you might see this all the way down the chain. But nothing will basically kind of offset the continued increase in rates. So if rates continue to rise, that should shift back demand and prices would have to follow.
Yeah, this is certainly an issue that is complicated for the average person to try to break down. So we appreciate you joining us. Dr. Kevin Willard, Associate Professor of Economics at Wright State University. Thank you so much for your time.